this away. Everything you know will one day go away, but you don't have to go. There's no point in staying. Let me drift on by. Let me drift on by. One day you'll find even the stars have to let go of their light to let it shine, to let it shine. You hold all the sadness, you hold all the fear, you hold these things. Must you dare? But I see a purple light inside of you tonight. Won't fade away, it won't fade away. One day you'll find even your heart can heal itself with time. Oh, so give it time. Just give it time. Well, just sing. You got to sing your song, song, song. If you love me true, then you can do no wrong, wrong, wrong. But I see a blue light inside of you tonight. Let it shine, come on and let it shine, shine, shine. One day you'll find even the stars have to let go of their light. Oh, so let it shine, so let it shine. One day you'll find even your heart can heal itself with time. Oh, so give it time. Just give it time. Just give it time. You got to give it time. Give it time.
I'll tell the world, I'll sing the song. It's a better place since you came along. Since you came along. Your touch of sunlight through the trees. Your kisses are the ocean breeze. Everything's alright when you're with me. And you're my favorite thing. Oh, the love that you bring. Well, it feels like I've opened my eyes again, and the colors are golden and bright again. There's a song in my heart, I feel like I belong. It's a better place since you came along. It's a better place since you came along. I see the whole road in your eyes. It's like I've known you all my life. We just feel so right. So I pour my heart into your hands. It's like you really understand. You love the way I am. And you're my favorite thing. Oh, the happiness you bring. Well, it feels like I've opened my eyes again, and the colors are golden and bright again. And the sun paints the skies and the wind sings her song. It's a better place since you came along. It's a better place since you came along. Now I'm alright. Now I'm alright. Everything's alright. 'Cause it feels like I've opened my eyes again, and the colors are golden and bright again. There's a song in my heart, I feel like I belong. It's a better place. It's a better place since you came along.
Bumper cloud for Cliff. Bumper cloud for
Where'd all the time go? It's starting to fly. See how the hands go, waving goodbye. You know I get so forgetful when I look in your eyes. Now she's walking backward through a parade, and I'm stuck in the shadows, blocking the shade. There ain't no way to sweep up the mess that we made. She gets dressed up like a pillow, so she's always in bed. Flowers for the sick and good. She's on the go, way too fast and way too slow. She'll turn the stone in hospitals and funeral homes. And when the fog rises, somebody sighs who is not in disguise anymore. dressed up like a pillow, so she's always in bed. Flowers for the sick and dead. She's on the go, way too fast and way too slow. She'll turn to stone at hospitals and sleeping homes. And when the tide rises, somebody sinks and is gone in the blink of an eye.
I set out on a narrow way many years ago, hoping I would find true love along the broken road. But I got lost a time or two, wiped my brow and kept pushing through. I couldn't see how every sign pointed straight to you. That every long lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars, pointing me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true, that God bless the broken road that led me straight to you. Yes, it did. I think about the years I spent just passing through. I'd like to have the time I lost and give it back to you, but you just smile and take my hand. You've been there, you understand. It's all part of a grander plan that is coming true. Every long lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars, pointing me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true, that God bless the broken road that led me straight to you. Now I'm just rolling home into my lover's arms. This much I know is true, that God bless the broken road that led me straight to you. That God bless the broken road that led me straight to you.
empty land. I knew the pathway like the back of my hand. I felt the earth beneath my feet, sat by the river and it made me complete. Oh, simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin. I came across a fallen tree. I felt the branches of it looking at me. Is this the place we used to love? Is this the place that I've been dreaming of? Oh, simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin. And if you have a minute, why don't we go talk about it somewhere only we know. This could be the end of everything. So why don't we go somewhere only we know? Somewhere only we know. A simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin. And if you have a minute, why don't we go talk about it somewhere only we know? This could be the end of everything. So why don't we go? So why don't we go? This could be the end of everything. So why don't we go somewhere only we know? Somewhere only we know. Somewhere only we know.
They say the holy water's watered down, and this town's lost its faith. Our colors will fade eventually, so if our time is running out, day after day, we'll make the mundane our masterpiece. Oh my, oh my love. I take one look at you, you're taking me out of the ordinary. I want you laying me down till we're dead and buried, on the edge of your knife, staying drunk on your vibe. The angels up in the clouds are jealous knowing we found something so out of the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground of your sanctuary. Shatter me with your touch, oh Lord, return me to dust. The angels up in the clouds are jealous knowing we found hopeless hallelujah on this side of heaven's gate. Oh my life, how do ya breathe and take my breath away? At your altar I will pray. charge of your night, staying drunk on your vibe. The angels up in the clouds are jealous knowing we found something so out of the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground in the sanctuary. Shatter me with your touch, oh Lord, return me to dust. The angels up in the clouds are jealous knowing we found.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. And what's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do you think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one in the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
like any other day. Today I gave my heart away. Tomorrow the sun will shine again for me, and once more will my life be filled with beauty, and the songs I'll sing for her like a melody. It'll bring the joy to her like birds in the trees. Hear me now, getting ready. I'm getting ready for tomorrow. Oh yeah. I'll always say the things she wants to hear, and I'll be contented with having her near. So be gone yesterday's sorrows, and all you proclaim, and make room for tomorrow and the joy it'll bring. Hear me now, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready for tomorrow. So be gone yesterday's sorrows and all you proclaim, and make room for tomorrow and the joy you bring. Hear me now, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready for tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow, yeah. Oh, tomorrow. Oh,
Somewhere I'm feeling outer space. There's a world, no wars, no hate, where all the broken hearts are safe. I don't know where it is, I just imagine it.
We are all gathered here right now. I can feel it, it's about to go down. There's a time and a place for a face in the crowd, and today is the day. Stand out, stand up, stand your ground. Be the who that you are and be proud. And when you feel that you can't make it sound right, there is the time when you're supposed to get loud. You don't like those rules, remake them, cause we live a snow globe, shake them. You don't like what it was, then change what it is, cause stories only are what you make them. Wake up, get up and do something. You gotta wake up, get up and do something. Yeah, it don't take much but a simple equation, you plus your imagination.
Somewhere I'm feeling outer space. There's a world, no wars, no hate, where all the broken hearts are safe. I don't know where it is, I just imagine it.
Right here, I could almost touch it, so near. We can live in our world, no fear. If you with me, say yeah.
Just imagine it.
Right here, I can see it all crystal clear. We can fit the whole atmosphere. If you with me, say yeah.
Just imagine it.
I live in a world that's in pain. You too, where the streets have no name. Cause an untreated vet with a mental defect is about to get a Glock, that's insane. And we sit on the brink with a drink in a hand and the other with a grip on an iPhone. Never looking in each other's eyes, let alone at the stars one day, wonder where the time goes. Zombies waking up when the bomb drops. Too many hearts stop beating when the heart stops. Can't wait for the world to change. That's like waiting for the end of days. We gotta wake up, get up and do something. We gotta wake up, get up and do something. Yeah, it ain't gonna be perfect, nothing ever has, but we could try. Just imagine that.
Somewhere off in outer space, there's a world, no wars, no hate, where all the broken hearts are safe. I don't know where it is, I just imagine it. Somewhere far off past the stars, where the light shines in the dark, where you could be just who you are. I don't know where it is, I just imagine it.
Right here, I could almost touch it, so near. We can live in our world, no fear. If you with me, say yeah. Right here, I can see it all crystal clear. We can fit the whole atmosphere. If you with me, say yeah.
Just imagine it. I hope you can see it, yeah. I hope you can see it now. Just imagine it. Somewhere off in outer space, there's a world, no wars, no hate, where all the broken hearts are safe. I don't know where it is.
I just imagine it.
Somewhere far off past the stars, where the light shines in the dark, where you could be just who you are. I don't know where it is, I just imagine it. I wanna believe, yes I do, yes I do.
There goes my heart beating, 'cause you are the reason I'm losing my sleep. Please come back now.
There goes my mind erasing, and you are the reason that I'm still breathing. I'm hopeless now.
I'd climb every mountain and swim every ocean
Just to be with you and fix what I've broken.
Oh, 'cause I need you to see that you are the reason.
There goes my hand shaking, and you are the reason my heart keeps bleeding. I need you now.
If I could turn back the clock, I'd make sure the light defeated the dark. I'd spend every hour of every day keeping you safe. And I'd climb every mountain and swim every ocean just to be with you and fix what I've broken. Oh, 'cause I need you to see that you are the reason. I don't wanna fight no more. I don't wanna hurt no more. I don't wanna cry no more. Come back, I need you.
The reason.
Just a little closer now. Come a little closer. I need you to hold me tonight. I'd climb every mountain
and swim every ocean just to be with you and fix what I've broken. 'Cause I need you to see that you are the reason. Loving can hurt. Loving can hurt sometimes, but it's the only thing that I know. When it gets hard, you know it can get hard sometimes. It is the only thing that makes us feel alive. We keep this love in a photograph. We made these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, hearts are never broken, and time's forever frozen still. So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone. Wait for me to come home. Loving can heal. Loving can mend your soul. And it's the only thing that I know. I swear it will get easier. Remember that with every piece of you. And it's the only thing we take with us when we die. Keep this love in a photograph. We made these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, hearts were never broken, time's forever frozen still. So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone. And if you hurt me, that's okay, baby. Only words bleed inside these pages. You just hold me. I won't ever let you go. Wait for me to come home. 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 Oh, you can fit me inside the necklace you got when you were 16, next to your heartbeat where I should be. Keep it deep within your soul. And if you hurt me, well, that's okay, baby. Only words bleed inside these pages. You just hold me. I won't ever let you go. When I'm away, I will remember how you kissed me under the lamppost back on 6th Street, hearing you whisper through the phone. Wait for me to come home.
Hello, everybody. I want to thank Lee's Golden Dragon Group for opening up today's beautiful celebration. That was lovely, and that was dramatic, the exact way T would have loved it. A gentle reminder right now for all of you guys to please silence your phone before we continue. Thank you. There is so much love in this room right now. So much love. Today, we honor the life, love, and legacy of T, Maya, and Max. We will celebrate the joy they brought into this world, the laughter they brought into every room, and all the ways they made us feel seen, welcomed, and loved. My name is Lily Jang. I was a friend of T's, and it is my honor to be your host today and to facilitate today's event. You guys look amazing in your spring-colored outfits. T would love that. So if you knew T, and of course you did, you know that she loved John Legend, she loved Alicia Keys, she loved Celine Dion, but she loved Beyonce the most. It is my pleasure right now to welcome Joy Keeling to the stage with a tribute that is a Beyonce tribute.
Remember those walls I built? Baby, they're tumbling down. They didn't even put up a fight, didn't even make a sound. Funny how I let you in, I never really had a doubt. Standing in the light of your halo, got my angel now. It's like I've been awakened, every rule I had to break it. It's a risk that I'm taking, I ain't never gonna shut you out. Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, when I see your halo, you know you're my saving grace. You're everything I need and more, 'cause it's written all over your face. Baby, when I see your halo, know you're mine. I see your halo, 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 halo. I see your halo, halo, pull me back to the ground again. It's like I've been awakened, every rule I had to break it, and it's a risk that I'm taking. I ain't never gonna shut you out. You're everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, when I see your halo, you know you're my saving grace. You're everything I need and more, 'cause it's written all over your face. Baby, when I see your halo, I pray it won't fade away. Halo, 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 halo.
Thank you, Joy. At this time, it is my honor to warmly welcome the My family up to the stage as they share their memories and reflections as a people who knew T, Maya, and Max most intimately and who loved them first. Please welcome to the stage T's father, Tui Mai.
Again, my name is Tui Mai, and I'm the father of T. First of all, I want to thank you, all of you, that come in today to celebrate T life and her children's life. Maya and Max. First, a few words about T. T was our first child, was born in Chicago. And in Chicago, that's where I met my wife in a high school in Chicago. He grew up in Clear Lake, Houston. He attended kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. Few things about T, she loved to travel at a young age. I'll tell you a little story about T right after high school. She wanted to make a trip by herself together with her best friend, Crystal. Two girls, they want to go to Tokyo, Japan. Of course, as a parent, you always want to discourage them to do that. But she convinced us to let her go. Before she left, she came to me and asked, "Dad, can I have your credit card?" And I say, I just heard that you are ready. He said, yeah, this is only emergency. That's what he told me. As soon as she came back, well enough, she maxed out the credit card. And I have a little session with her. I asked T, you told me it's only for emergency. And she looked at me and said, don't you think food is emergency? So that is about T. She's the bottom line is this: she knew what she wanted, and she worked hard to achieve that. And I'm very lucky to work with her on every journey that she tried to achieve in professional side. Her education, she got a degree from UH and Penn State. She got into MBA program at Rice. And because of 3 businesses she started at the same time, I convinced her to pause it. And you know how hard that is. Want to share a few moments with Maya. Maya is very happy, very intelligent, beautiful girl. I remember the last conversation that we had with her is usually just like any grandparent does. I asked her, what do you want to do when you grow up? She always responds like, I want to be an artist, or I want to be a ballet dancer, but I don't want to be poor either. So I look at her, I say, that's okay. So when you be a Bollywood dancer, how do I get to see your performance? She said, oh, at that time you have to contact my agent. So this is amazing. At the end, lately actually the same day, the last day that we saw her, within 12 hours, the incident happened. She told me, I changed my mind. I want to be inventor. And that's the last word that I heard from her. At Max, he's very intelligent. He's a very intelligent, cute boy. And I always challenge him on many, many things. And just on that Sunday, as I remember, he was playing with our dog named Bear. And I came over and I teased him. I say, Max, this is not the bear. The bear doesn't have the tail. And you call this thing bear. It's not right. And it took him like probably 15 seconds, like pause, right? And he came back, he said, no. Bear is his name. This is the dog. I continued to play with him, and I told Max, I have a bear named Dog. You want to meet him? And you know how his expression, he said, oh, grief, and he walked away. Today, I want to make one statement. We're all here today on this earth with limited of time. It doesn't matter how long we live, but it matters how impactful you are with the surrounding, the people that you met. And I live that. Of course, this is unbearable pain. But we want to turn this incident into action. We create a TMI Foundation to protect women and children from violence. And I and Lan, we donate the first $100,000 in. And we hope we will do more on the later year. And let's start to celebrate their life. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name's Lee. I'm T's sister. When somebody passes away, it's easy for us to remember just the highlights and forget that they were real people with strong personalities or quirks, flaws, and stories. So today I want to tell you a little bit about my sister. For those who don't know, there are 4 siblings in our family. It was T, me, Lee, V, and Hui. So obviously my dad had a great sense of humor. He rhymed all of our names. But T, V, and I were a year and a half apart each, and we couldn't be any more different. A lot of times we would say that if we weren't sisters, we probably wouldn't be friends, right? We just had different personalities, interests, and everything, but somehow that all came together, and we were placed together in this family to help each other. And we celebrated life's happiest moments with one another. T was a natural-born leader from the moment she entered into this world. My parents tell a story about how when we were little, they took me to the doctor's office to get a vaccination. I was crying because I was scared of shots. T was crying because she wasn't getting a shot. The doctor ultimately had to give her like a vitamin shot just to calm her down. That's how different we are. And once T decided something, there was pretty much nothing that could stop her. That determination served her really well in life, but it also made some interesting teenage years. To put it nicely, she had a rebellious streak during her teenage years. And that's actually probably an understatement. At one point, she got into enough trouble that my parents sent her to live in Hawaii with my uncle. What a punishment, right? But she still was going to figure things out and still work hard to get there. So she wanted to come back to Houston to visit without them knowing. She worked really hard at a dry cleaners in Hawaii, saved up enough money, and somehow managed to make a trip back to Houston and back to Hawaii without my parents or my uncle ever noticing. But she always, no matter what she was planning, she always told me about it, or even because she knew I'd cover for her. So I knew they only found out about this, a few years ago, right? And despite me being a rule follower, she always convinced me to help her carry out all her schemes, like sneaking out. And even to this day, I'm still the only sibling who's never snuck out of the house. And because she was such a natural leader, she was very good at getting people to do what she wanted. And every sibling and cousin in here knows what I'm talking about, because when we were little, if I didn't fall in line, which I rarely was a follower, she would command everybody not to talk to me at the time, right? And everybody listened. She just had a gift of convincing people. Another thing about T is that she loved food. She was tiny, but she could really eat. And the meal that she was eating at the time was not just the meal she was thinking about. During that meal, she was already planning the next meal. And I think it wasn't just food for her, right? And so it wasn't something she just enjoyed. She found it a way to connect to people, and it brought her joy. And as much as we fought growing up, there were moments where she showed how much she loved me. One of which, I'll give one more story about how there was a hamster disaster when we were little. My little brother had gotten a male hamster. I got a female one. Didn't really understand that they would reproduce quite quickly. And so at one point, we had like 20 hamsters, and they somehow got loose in the house and bit through the electrical wiring and flooded the first floor of our house. So my dad had enough. He set out mouse traps everywhere. And one night, T heard one of the mouse trap snap. She could care less about the hamsters itself, but she went to wake me up and tell me about it so that I could go save my hamster. And that's how she shows her love, in little ways like that. So she might tease you relentlessly, she might drive you crazy, but when it mattered, when it was something that mattered to the people that she loved, she showed up and she was there for you. And watching T become a mother was one of the greatest joys of my life. It brought a much softer side of her that we rarely got to see. And Maya and Max became the center of her universe. And growing up, T and I used to joke that because we fought so much as children, the world was going to hand us children when we had them that were like each other. And that's exactly what happened, right? Maddie is much more like T, where she's strong-willed, determined, independent, and impossible to convince once she's made up her mind. Whereas Maya was more like me, a rule follower, the need to right wrongs, more sensitive. As one of the many ways I still see my sister every day, our relationship just looked very different now than it did when we were kids. We teased each other, we shared funny videos, exchanged jokes, always checked on each other's children. And if she needed me, I would be there, vice versa. That was our relationship. Because beneath all of that, there was complete loyalty and love. And it amazes me, just no matter how busy she was, as you heard, they had restaurants and she had a clothing line. No matter how busy her schedule was, she made time for the people that she loved. She always showed up. She remembered everybody's birthdays. She coordinated every family event. She just brought people together. She was one of the first people that showed up at the hospital when my husband passed, and continued to show up at a time that I was pushing people away. And she would say it's because the kids wanted to see me, and she knew I couldn't turn that down. And so she pushed her way through and continued to show up for me throughout the past several months. And she's done the same for countless other people. I've had people message me that I don't even know and have told me how much she had an impact on their lives and how she helped them in their hardest times. And there's so many things I miss about her, especially her laugh. If you've heard her laugh, she has a very distinct laugh, and it just is full of life. And it's in her ability to bring people together and for making things happen in things where people thought it would be impossible. But most of all, just simply knowing that she's there. I love you, team. Always have, always will. A couple of months ago, at Lee's husband, my brother-in-law's funeral, T shared with me that she wants hers to be chic. I wish we didn't have to oblige so soon after that, but here we are. T spent our childhood teaming up with Lee to properly torment me. Lee happily obliged as to redirect T's fury off of her. They successfully convinced me I was adopted. My mom was very alarmed when I said, "Take me to my real mom." I'm not sure if it was T or Lee, but they instilled a sense of scarcity in me when they told me every drop of water we used was 1 cent. And everything we ever bought, we had to pay taxes on forever. I'm very frugal now. They would pin me down, tickle me until I cried. Once, they held up a bottle and told me that if they drank what was in the bottle, that they would die. I ferociously cried, "Please, please don't drink it. I'll give you my toys, whatever you want, please." They drank it and pretended to die. And I wish that this was also pretend. As Lee mentioned, I recall much of our teenage years characterized by my parents trying their best to quell T's rebellious spirit, trying their best to protect her. T could not be contained. T was fire. My parents had to lock my window so that she wouldn't sneak out of the house. But it was their unconditional love and support that simmered her fire a little bit, and her fire became a home for her family that kept everybody warm. Of course, T was still T. Her love language was a combination of generosity and unfiltered comments. While I was a student, and I was a student for a long time, she would always get us dinner and drinks. Then she would tell me I need to pluck my eyebrows. It took me time to understand that that was her way of showing me love. She had a keen sense of knowing what you needed to hear. After college, T spent her early career grinding at corporate jobs. She spent 5 years driving from the inner loop to Kemah to her job at Target as a logistics manager. She was solving other people's problems as an HR director at Starbucks and Hilton. She helped create Traveler's Table and Traveler's Cart. Foreign Fare was finally her time to chase her dream. One of my favorite memories with T was when we met up in New York City a couple of years ago. While she was working on a Foreign Fare clothing photography session, she invited me along to come check it out with her and keep her company. It was a true joy to watch her in her element. She was meticulously directing the photographer, steaming every fold from the clothes to be properly photographed, positioned the sleeve, the string. She was really laser focused. I was so happy for her, so proud to be her little sister. On that trip, another piece of sisterly advice, she said to always carry a nice black dress when you travel. You never know when you're gonna need it. We got me a little black dress and went to dinner. During that trip, I told her about a new guy I was seeing, and she said, I don't wanna hear about it unless it's serious. So 8 weeks minimum. And I thought, okay, that's fair. She posted about our engagement before I did. She was always celebrating me better than I celebrated myself. On that trip, she also shared with me that someday she would love to have a little Foreign Fare store in Soho. Someday. A lot of the pain I feel when I think about T is knowing that she wasn't done. She had so much more to do, so much more to give. For those that knew and loved T, I hope thoughts of her fill you with strength and courage to live life the way that she did. Lovingly, passionately, relentlessly. T, thank you for bringing our family together. Thank you for all the invitations on trips. Thank you for telling me the truth. Thank you for booking photo shoots. Thank you for making reservations. Thank you for celebrating me. Thank you for your howling laughs, and thank you for never compromising who you were. It was a gift to be in your light. I'll miss you every day, and I hope that our memories together will give me the strength to live a life that you would be proud of.
T was the most fearless person that I know. You heard many times tonight, she had the most infectious smile and laugh in the room. It didn't matter how you were feeling or who you are, she just made you feel comfortable. And she always brought the family together. Looking around this room today, it's clear that T's presence had a far greater impact than she even realized. I am the youngest, and T was the oldest in our family, and out of everyone, T's opinion was the one that I cared about the most. We were not always the closest growing up, but we were getting there. I just wish I had told her how much I looked up to her. Those who know my sisters know all three of them are completely different. I like to think that I ended up as a combination of all of them in some way. People have told me that I have the same laugh as T. I just did not realize how much of a compliment that was until she was gone. We were planning to take a siblings trip to Puerto Rico next month for V's bachelorette party. T was the first one to buy her ticket. She coordinated everything and was probably the most excited to go out of all of us. We were supposed to have more time with her. When T had Maya and Max, everyone would tell you that she changed. She was always fearless, but when those kids came, that softer side of her came out, and you could see Maya and Max becoming like her in their own way. But what most people did not see, that my sister was carrying behind closed doors. She was always the most fearless person in the room, but also the only person that was trying to hold everything together. She did not complain, she did not ask for help, she just kept showing up and chopping wood. Every time, no matter what. I am not going to try to make sense of what happened. There is no sense in it. But I do need to say this. The system failed my sister. It failed my sister because it trusted the most dangerous person in the room to tell the truth about how dangerous they really were. And she ran out of time. T, you deserve more time. You deserved to see who Max and Maya were going to become. Max and Maya, your Uncle Kui is never going to forget you. T, my big sister, I can say for certain that you lived your life fully. You did not hold back. If you wanted to go somewhere, you went. If you wanted to do something, you did it. V and I were always the more conservative ones. Do not spend that money, or do not take that trip until it's deserved. We're not going to wait anymore, T. We are going to take that trip. We are going to take that time off. And we are going to live the way you did. I know that you would have wanted that for us, and I promise we will. Love you forever, T.
just got a ticket for my destination. On a tour of one night stands, my suitcase and guitar in hand, and every stop is neatly planned for a poet and a one-man band. Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts escaping, home, where my music's playing, home, where my love lies waiting silently for me. Every day is an endless stream of cigarettes and magazines. And each town looks the same to me, the movies and the factories, and every stranger's face I see reminds me that I long to be homeward bound. I wish I was homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts escaping, home, where my music's playing, home, where my love lies waiting silently for me. Tonight I'll sing my songs again, I'll play the game and pretend. But all my words come back to me in shades of mediocrity, like emptiness and harmony. I need someone to comfort me. Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts escape.
Again. Thank you again to T's father, Twee, sisters V and Lee, and brother Hui for those beautiful memories. One of the greatest gifts in life is friendship. The people who walk beside us through every season of life. We want to continue our next segment with T's best friend of 22 years, Crystal Yang.
So I've been thinking a lot about where our friendship started. And honestly, it started with a to-go order in 2004. We were 17 and worked together at Miyako Japanese restaurant on Westheimer. I was a hostess and T was the new waitress. And from day one, T was already very much T. Apparently, she had been secretly cutting strawberries in the kitchen and eating them in between waiting on tables. So every few hours, you'd hear someone yell, "Hey, new girl, you can't just do whatever you want." And T would just smile and say, "Oops, sorry." Well, at that time, nobody thought that was cute. So one day, she ordered a to-go meal, and I packed her extra miso soup, extra salad, and I had my sushi chef friend sneak some extra sushi into her box. And I guess that was it. 22 years of friendship started with extra sushi. We had a lot in common, but we were also complete opposites. T was spontaneous, fearless, always ready to jump into something. I was the one thinking things through and worrying about every detail. Throughout our entire friendship, she would call me an uptight and grumpy old lady, and I will call her a lunatic with no filter. And it worked. We chose to be roommates in college, and during our first year, T came up with what she thought was a brilliant plan. She told me, "Let's just major in the same thing, take all the same classes so I can copy your homework, we can carpool, and get sushi after class." So we both ended up majoring in consumer science and merchandising at UH. And back then, in the beginning, I was the responsible one. I kept us on track, and T was perfectly happy benefiting from my organization's skills. But one thing about T was that she always followed her own pace. She never followed anyone else's timeline. By our third year in college, something just clicked, and suddenly she became incredibly motivated. She started joining organizations, taking leadership positions, volunteering, becoming close with every professor, and somehow getting involved in what felt like a million things all at once. In 2009, I gave birth to my daughter, Chloe, and suddenly I was exhausted trying to balance school, motherhood, part-time jobs, and everything else. And T became the one to help me get through it. She reminds me, "Hey, Crystal, the assignment is due tomorrow. Did you do it yet?" "Nope, no, not interested." And T's like, "Oh, God, I guess I'll just do it for you." The girl who originally wanted to copy my homework became the one helping me graduate. She showed up, sometimes loudly, oftentimes in complete chaos, but she always showed up. After college, our careers went in different directions, but somehow we still became each other's person through every stage of life. T became my unofficial HR consultant, and I became her retail person. When she was building Foreign Fare, we would brainstorm ideas together, because no matter where life took us, we always found ways to be part of each other's world. My favorite memories with her came from our trips together. The first time we went on a trip was Japan in 2006, when we were 19 and I planned everything. We studied Japanese at UH for 4 years. It was our minor. And she joked that the only reason for this is so we can go to Japan and speak conversational Japanese like a pro when we go food hunting. Well, she never did that. That was all me. I had planned to get a cherry blossom tattoo during this 5-day trip. The plan was simple. I get a tattoo, T waits for me, that was it. Well, suddenly when we're there, she says, "Ooh, I love cherry blossoms. Should I get one too?" I looked at her and I said, "You just decided this right now?" She's like, "Yeah." Well, of course she did. The tattoo artist worked out of a private residence, and they had to send this female assistant to meet us at the train station and walk us there. On the way to this shop, the woman who walked with us was completely silent, no small talk, no facial expressions. So we're two 19-year-old girls following a stranger through Tokyo for what felt like 20 minutes, and T starts whispering, "What if she's a ninja assassin?" I'm like, "Can you please stop?" She's like, "No, I'm so serious." Well, what makes me laugh now is somehow T thought we might be in danger, but that did not stop her from deciding 20 minutes later from getting a permanent tattoo. For the next 4 hours, she laid in the bed next to me. And now, mind you, we've only been friends for about 2 years at this time. I don't know her that well. The moment I hear that tattoo gun, T's next to me, and she's like, "Ow!" Every few minutes. And I looked over, thinking, oh my God, what a complete lunatic. You decided to do this, T. Nobody forced you. I'm pretty sure I told her to shut up a few times, but T was in her own world. She was not fazed by how annoyed I was. She didn't care that I told her she's really embarrassing right now. And so after 4.5 hours, we both left exhausted, delirious, with saran wrap taped all over our backs, walking through Tokyo, and we both got cherry blossom tattoos. Well, suddenly T says, "I'm hungry." If you knew T, you know that's not a casual statement. T is one of those tiny people that can eat an unbelievable amount of food, and the second she got hungry, it immediately became everybody else's emergency too. And I learned very early on that once T gets hungry, you have a very small window before things start going downhill. And she would give me the look too, like somehow I was personally responsible for solving this problem that she had just announced. So now we're speed walking through Tokyo at 2 a.m. with saran wrap hanging off our backs, trying to find food before T had a complete public meltdown. So we finally found a place and ended up eating fried shrimp burgers, 3 a.m. sitting in our hotel bed, while T happily sipped her green tea, and that's her up there. That's T in bed, acting like she didn't just have a complete meltdown in public on the streets, enjoying her shrimp burger and iced green tea. Moments like that became some of my favorite memories because life with T was never just the plan. The unexpected parts always became the best parts. And somehow, for 22 years, we balanced each other perfectly. I saw that same love become even bigger when she became a mom. First to Maya and then to Max. Maya and Max became her world. Maya was smart, quiet, so sassy, very sarcastic, and an incredible artist. Max was wild, and so fearless. And whenever T would look at me and say, "Why are my kids like this? What's wrong with them?" I'd say, "Look in the mirror. It's you." Because Maya had her spark, and Max had her fearlessness, and both of them had the same energy that made people smile the second they walked in the room. People always talk about soulmates as if they only exist in romantic relationships. But T was my soulmate. 22 years of friendship, laughter, chaos, and growing up together is something I will carry with me forever. Maya and Max, I will carry them with me as well. Although I don't want to wait until I can see them again, I hold on to the belief that I will. Whether that's in heaven or somehow in another life, I know I will find all three of them again. And until then, I will keep loving T, I'll keep talking about her, and I'll keep carrying pieces of her with me.
Hi, I am gonna go ahead and carry this friendship thing after Crystal. I'm so honored to be able to speak about how wonderful and amazing T was, who I'm sure everybody already knows. But there's a part of me that always really wondered what life would be without friends. Because, you know, as they say, friends are, you know, the family that you choose. And I was so lucky to have T choose me as her family. And I'm sure anyone that is her friend felt that way also, because whenever she chose you, she loved deeply, and she cared so much. And what I do know is whenever she chose you, she never let go. Our friendship started similar to Crystal when we were serving tables at the Fish. And back then, T was very much a princess. She carried her way in herself that she knew who she was, very self-assured, and again, whatever she wanted, she was gonna get. And I remember thinking, it was like, wow, why is she serving tables if she's a princess? And to be quite honest with you, I didn't want to find out because I was gonna be, she kind of comes off a little scary. And the moment I knew that we were gonna be friends was whenever she proved to me that she actually wasn't that much of a princess. She came off like that, but she was very deep-rooted in her heart. And just a little story that is kind of funny, because I want to keep this a little bit lighthearted also, is the moment I knew we were going to be friends was whenever we were going to work. And back then at the Fish, if you were late, you would have to close by yourself. And that was a punishment. I'm actually a pretty punctual person, so I'm getting to work on time, going down West Gray. And I remember looking in my rearview mirror, and a car was just darting up and kind of swerved into my lane. And I reacted, swerved, and popped my tire. And of course, I was late to work. It was very hot outside. A friend pulled over to help change my tire, but I said, go for it, don't be late, I got this. Show up to pre-shift very late, and our manager at the time said, well, it looks like you're closing today. And I was like, sure, of course. And I was like, just for context, I just want to let you know someone ran me off the road. I'm drenched in sweat, but yeah, I'll take the punishment. And then she was like, were you in a black Corolla? And I said, yeah, technically yes. And she goes, oh my God, that was me. And I said, oh, well, thank you so much. I guess I get to know who it was, but thank you. And she said, well, since it was me that ran you off the road, I guess I'll close for you. And then I was like, okay, this princess actually does have a heart. And, that night I said, since she offered, I was like, I'm not gonna make you close by yourself, I'll close with you. And that was the beginning of our friendship because we bonded that night. And I was telling her, I was like, I didn't expect that from you. And she goes, well, if I did something wrong, I'm just gonna make it right. And that was the type of person that she was. Strong in her conviction, cared deeply, and honestly, one of the most incredible people I've ever met in my life. 20 years later, she was still a constant in my life, even though I moved to New York 7 years ago. She checked up on me, made sure I was eating properly. Always would be, you're too skinny. Why aren't you eating? I was like, and I had a nickname for her too. I called her Matt, which means mom in Vietnamese. And I was like, Matt, stop worrying about me. I'm gonna be fine. Yes, I am working too much. And every single time she came to New York, she would always make it a point, let's go eat. Of course, why not, right? Asked me how I was doing, made sure that anything that I needed, I would have. I was like, you need to stop worrying about me. I got this. And in return, I worried about her. And I said, do you need anything? Is there anything? And we would commiserate about how difficult restaurant management was. And those are the bonds that kind of got us through a lot of things when it came to me losing my mom a few years ago and her being there. But all this to say is that there's people in this life that I feel like you met for a reason. And there's those people that you meet and they stay. I was fortunate enough to have that for 20 plus years. And I don't ever want to forget anything that she's ever imparted on me, which I'm sure that she imparted a lot on everybody too, but I just want to remind everybody, like her family has said, she held high, high, high expectations for everybody in her life, in her circle. She knew that you were better than that. She would always tell you that. So I'm gonna keep that with me, to be better always. When she loved deeply. She wasn't just saying it, she showed it. That was the one thing that I will always, always cherish. And I'll carry that on with me also. And the last is that whenever you eat good. You do not order that item. If you're gonna eat, order it. Let's feast. And that in itself is tea in a nutshell, so I will always carry that with me also. But again, I thank you, T's family, who I know each and every one of you guys too, for being there for her, because I know how much she loved you guys, each and every one of you guys too. And for her parents for raising such a wonderful human being and a gift to everybody. So come and go, chú.
Money, wealth, health, everything. Live your best life. The whole bag. The whole bag. I'm an expert. Woo! Oh my goodness. Okay, well, since it's our last weekend, we might as well drink all the Happy birthday to you. Woo! Big wish. Okay, I'm thinking. Oh, I already know. What? It's your moment.
Do this video for Maya.
Said goodbye, turned around, and you were gone, gone, gone. Faded into the setting sun. Slipped away, but I won't cry, 'cause I know I'll never be lonely. For you are the stars to me. You are the light I follow. I will see you again. Oh, this is not where it ends. I will carry you with me. Oh, till I see you again. I can hear those echoes in the wind at night, calling me back in time, back to you, in a place far away where the water meets the sky. The thought of it makes me smile. You are my tomorrow. I'll see you again. Oh, this is not where it ends. I will carry you with me. Oh, till I see you again. Sometimes I feel my heart is breaking, but I stay strong and I hold on, 'cause I know I'll see you again. Oh, this is not where it ends. I will carry you with me. Yeah, yeah. I will see you again. Oh, this is not where it ends. I will carry you with me. Oh, till I see you again. Said goodbye, turned around, and you were gone, gone, gone.
Thank you again, Crystal and Andrew. So one of the most beautiful things about T is how she just brought everyone together. She included everyone. In hospitality, people often say that it's about serving others, creating connection, and making people feel welcome. Tea never met a stranger. We all know that. The outpouring of love from the hospitality and the fashion industry is really a true reflection of her spirit. At this time, I would like to welcome Mike Shine and also David Peck to share a few words on Tea's contributions to the fashion and also the hospitality industry.
Good morning. First, I want to say to Tea's family, thank you so much for inviting me and including me in this service. I am humble and blessed to be able to speak to you today. Thank you to all of you for being here as well. I know the family is appreciative of you being here and celebrating in this wonderful life of Tea and her kids. Like so many in this room, I am struggling to put this loss into words. Our hearts are broken. We mourn not only for the loss of an incredible restaurateur and leader, but also a devoted mother and two beautiful young lives taken way too soon. To Tea's family and loved ones, I want to offer my deepest and most heartfelt condolences. There are no words that can truly ease this pain. But please know you are surrounded by a community that loves you, grieves with you, and will carry Tea's spirit forward. Tea had a rare gift. She made people feel seen, valued, and welcomed. In an industry built around hospitality, she embodied it in the purest sense. She led with kindness, generosity, compassion, and yes, you've heard about that fiery authenticity. She lifted people up quietly, consciously, consistently, and without ever asking for recognition in return. A few weeks ago, a group of leaders from our Greater Houston Chapter Board met and expressed a desire to help in a very special and personal way by launching an endowed scholarship fund. Today, while we grieve, we also make a promise to the family and to each of you. Through the Greater Houston Chapter of the Texas Restaurant Association and the Texas Restaurant Foundation, the T, Maya, and Max Memorial Hospitality Scholarship will help ensure that their legacy lives on for generations to come. This endowed scholarship will help future hospitality leaders across Texas pursue their dreams, students who will one day serve others with the same heart, warmth, and spirit that T brought to our industry every single day. This scholarship is more than financial support. It's a living tribute. It is continuation of T's belief in people, the opportunity, and in the community. Every student helped by this fund will carry a piece of T, Maya, and Max forward long into the future. Though their loss leaves an unimaginable void, their impact will never fade. Their names, their spirit, and their love that brought into this world will continue to inspire lives far beyond our own. May we honor them only in our words today, but how we care for one another tomorrow. Thank you.
For those of you who don't know me, you may recognize me from T's last post on Instagram. Her reel captured that last Saturday she spent with Maya, shopping for flower girl dresses for her sister V's wedding, having lunch at Craft Pita, and then coming into my store to select the gown she'd wear herself. It was a gown she had noticed on the rack every time she stopped by, and she knew it would be perfect. I wasn't even supposed to be in the store that Saturday, but I knew T would be there, and I was so happy I got to see her finally try it on. Maya said, "A perfect 10." She was right. T and I met through a mutual friend and client, Alicia Layfield, who thought her line might be a good fit for the store. And over the years, so many local designers have approached me about carrying their clothing or jewelry line in the boutique, and usually I make pleasantries and politely send them on their way. With T, I didn't. From the first moment, it was obvious her collection was real. Quality work from someone who wasn't aspiring to be a designer. She was one. Her line, Foreign Fair, inspired by her love of travel, was thoughtfully designed with clever, practical details, hidden passport pockets, fabrics that wore like iron and didn't wrinkle, pieces that could be packed to go anywhere and mix and match with each other. It was beautifully curated and edited. T understood building a brand, putting it together, all of it. Foreign Fair is the only clothing line we have ever carried besides our own because it married so perfectly with the ethos of what we do, and our clients loved it. It was so easy to sell because the quality and the design were there. Throughout the ages, travel has often symbolized returning home, the Odyssey. The hero's journey is finding a way to return home. T built clothes for that journey. Her designs allow the traveler to carry home with them, folded into a jacket, tucked into a hidden pocket, stitched into something that wears well, no matter how far it goes. She came from a family that crossed the world and carried that identity the entire way. She built restaurants around this concept. She made sure that you always felt at home when traveling somewhere new. You take it with you. Anyone who spent 5 minutes on the floor of my shop with her knows the other thing she carried, her laugh. You heard it before you saw her. It filled the whole store, and it made you want to be wherever she was. She took part in a big runway show overlooking the city of Houston at the Thompson Hotel, where she was asked to feature Foreign Fair. And she kindly asked if she could incorporate pieces from our boutique alongside her own designs. It all worked together so well. I loved seeing her family there to support her. She was so excited and so nervous. And I know exactly what those feelings are like because I've stood where she stood before my own first big runway show. I was so proud of her that she got it all together and put on such an incredible show. One of the last events we hosted together at our store was a celebration of her line and our shared love of travel. What I admired about T is that she approached everything with such passion and detail. She needed to make sure it was all correct, that we gave the guests an experience to remember. Things I was willing to gloss over because it was just another event mattered to her. She was never willing to be present anything other than the best version of herself. She raised the standard of everyone around her. I loved that she embraced her family's immigrant story and was unapologetically passionate and determined. I loved that she supported other local small businesses like mine and was always thinking about how everyone could win from a partnership or an opportunity. So I'll end where she always seemed to be headed, somewhere new. T may not be with us physically, but her spirit remains. I hope she gets to experience all the trips and travel she could ever want, and that she finds, sewn into her pocket, the love we carry for her.
Hello, Houston travelers. I'm T. Mitchell, founder of Foreign Fair Apparel.
Hi, my name is T. Mitchell. I'm designer of travel line Foreign Fair. It's my first year here helping with this fashion show, and I'm proud to help not only because I'm a UH alumni, but I've also worked with Neil Hamill, and their models are here tonight.
Small town living gets old when you got big dreams. Feels like you can only think as far as you can see. 18 tatted up, trying to sell weed. Knowing I'd take the fall for the whole team. Wasn't trying to hear it every time that you told me. It's the sound of the rain coming down when you fall asleep.
Even like day to day or on the road, but everything's made to move. So we want women to feel confident and stylish while they're on the move, on the go, traveling every day. Or
Never need. Hope you come back around the simple things. How's it been 4 or 5 years since I got down on my knees? And how could I forget the sweet smell of the honeysuckles in the breeze? Would've never thought trying to chase this dream would give me nightmares. Now I get no sleep. Nowadays seems like the only thing that calms me is the sound of the rain coming down when you fall asleep. It's a call from a friend that you love but never get to see. All the time you can waste trying to chase what you'll never need. Always comes back around to simple things. Like a song that you know from the past coming on when you need it so bad. Like a drink in your glass at the end of the day that you needed to have. Yeah, I try and still sometimes I mess it up. Lately I've been asking myself what's enough. It's the sound of the rain coming down when you fall asleep. It's a call from a friend that you love but never get to see. All the time you can waste trying to chase what you'll never need. Always comes back around a simple thing. Simple things.
From now, we'll all be gone. All our friends will move away, and they're going to better places. But our friends will be gone away. Nothing is as it has been. And I miss your face. And I guess it's just as well. But I miss your face like hell.
As we continue the celebration of life, we honor two beautiful young souls. Maya and Max brought so much love, happiness, innocence, and energy into this world. They will always be cherished, celebrated, and remembered with deep love. Right now, I would like to introduce Stephanie. Stephanie cared and loved for Maya and Max for 8 years. And speaking with Stephanie will be Lee, who was their aunt and second mother. So here's Stephanie.
To know her was to love her. Maya was a bright and lively 8-year-old girl who lived life entirely on her own time. Through Maya's world, on Maya's time. I joked with her always that she was living life on Maya's time, never rushing to get to the next place, even though we needed to leave for gymnastics right that minute and she wasn't dressed or ready to go. She was enjoying her time, and I told her that when I grow up, I want to live on Maya time. That always made her laugh. I first met Maya when she was 18 months old, and let's just say she wasn't the biggest fan of me. She couldn't understand why T was leaving her with me. I tried every distraction possible to keep her from noticing T sneaking away to work. Eventually, we discovered that Elmo worked best, and I would put Elmo videos on my phone to distract her. After that, it didn't take long for her to warm up to me. Soon, she would walk in circles around the kitchen, telling me all her gibberish stories about what to do when you took Pepper outside. She even gave me my own name, Babia. T and I could never figure out how she got Babia from Stephanie, but she did, and it stuck. Before long, Maya became my little bestie. Shortly after I started watching Maya, COVID hit. Maya and I spent a lot of time together during that time, and she became my daily human interaction. We spent countless hours outdoors going for walks or swimming in their pool. When things started opening back up, we took her to the zoo, and she loved it. She talked about it for months after we took her. During that time, Maya also met my now husband, Ray, and she instantly fell in love with him. Ray quickly became her world, and I became the background person who brought Ray to her. Every time. Whenever Ray was around, I didn't exist, and it didn't hurt her feelings that I didn't exist. Everything became, where's Ray? I want to see Ray. I love Ray. Thanks, Maya. Love you too. Maya was a silly girl who had a heart of gold and a spirit that naturally drew people to her. She was fiercely protective of everyone and everything she loved. One of her greatest joys in life was her baby brother, Maxwell. Although she would never admit it, she loved being his big sister. One of my favorite memories I have with them happened one night when Max would not stop crying. I laid him in his bassinet to get his bottle ready for bed, and all of a sudden, it got very quiet. I walked over to the dining room table, and Maya had pulled a chair out and was softly singing him the sweetest little song to calm him down. We all knew Maya loved Max with her whole heart. She also had a love for Disney, which I might have influenced. We spent a lot of time together during COVID and watched a lot of Frozen. My mom, sister, and I took her to Disney the summer before she started kindergarten. She kept asking me if I would take her, and we thought, what a beautiful way to start the school year. She had the absolute time of her life. She was so excited to meet all of the characters until it was actually her turn to meet the characters. Then she froze and became shy. Don't worry, she still smiled for the pictures, and after the interaction, she was excited to talk about all the characters she had the opportunity to meet. The Disney trip quickly became all about Maya, with bubble wands and dresses and princess sunglasses. After all, it was Maya's world, and we would do anything to make her smile. Maya was the flower girl in our wedding. We originally were not going to include any kids, but there was no way we could imagine our wedding day without her. She even took her first trip to Chicago with me to shop for flower girl dresses. She truly looked like a princess, and she knew it. I let her choose a dress herself because she wanted it to match mine. For months, we practiced throwing fake flowers and smiling while walking down the aisle. She was so excited to tell everyone about being my flower girl and how she was going to throw the flowers until the actual moment came. She, in fact, did not smile, and she was halfway down the aisle before she remembered to toss the petals. However, she still completely stole the show. Everyone was drawn to her and rooting for her as she came down the aisle. We all still laugh about that moment today. Another fond memory I have of my wedding day was when we were all getting ready. Maya was the life of the party and kept everyone entertained while hair and makeup was being done. The photographer was obsessed with her and the way she brightened the room. She even captured the funniest picture of Maya with her hair done and a chicken nugget hanging out of her mouth. Even in her silliest moments, Maya had a way of capturing everyone's attention and bringing a smile to their faces. As Maya grew, so did her personality, and I loved getting to witness every phase of her life, from Barbies to art projects and everything in between. Maya was incredibly imaginative and deeply passionate about art and creating. Whether she was drawing pictures or turning recyclables into elaborate underwater scenes, her imagination knew no limits. Her creativity brought joy to everyone around her. She loved making bracelets and often left me little gifts whenever I was putting Max to sleep. She would quietly sneak into the hallway and leave a bracelet and a note where I would have to step over it when I left Max's room. One of my favorite notes said, "Best baby sister." I was honored to be promoted from babysitter to baby sister in her eyes. Maya also found great joy in joking with others, or what we like to describe as roasting, and she roasted me quite often. One of my favorite moments was when she asked me about having a dress code. I thought she was referring to my other job, but no, she meant while I was watching her and Max. I didn't realize she did not appreciate my sweatpants attire. I hope I'm up to dress code for you today, Maya. Another time while doing tutoring homework, she pointed out a picture meant to represent the word hip and confidently told me it looked like me because I had a cockeyed hip. At the time, I was wearing a back brace because of injuries from a previous car accident. Maya always knew how to humble me, but also make me laugh. She loved teasing others, including Max. She was always trying to make him say something funny just so everyone would laugh. And that was exactly who she was, someone who brought joy and laughter to everyone around them. We had a saying every night I put her to sleep. "Good night, sweet dreams, see you tomorrow." It soon became "Good night, sweet dreams, see you tomorrow. Babia, I have a question," every night. And it was questions she already knew the answers to. Questions like, what's your favorite animal? What's your favorite color? Who is your favorite princess? But she could not go to sleep unless we had our nighttime routine, and I answered that question for her. It was in these quiet moments we learned a lot about each other. More than anything, Maya loved traveling with her mom. She explored the world with the same sense of wonder and adventure her mom carried, always excitedly asking when the next trip would be. The joy she found in discovering new places was remarkable. After all, this is Maya's world, and we were just lucky enough to live in it. Oh, Maxwell. Max was a spunky and silly 4-year-old boy who found endless joy and laughter in life. From singing made-up songs with his sister to telling imaginative stories, Max could always find a reason to laugh and make everyone around him laugh right along with him. He had the brightest spirit and a way of bringing warmth and happiness wherever he went. His playful personality and sweet heart made it so easy to adore him. I met Max just a week after he came home from the hospital. He was the tiniest little bundle of joy. From the very beginning, he had tea completely wrapped around his finger. Max was a total snuggle bug who hated being put down for more than 5 seconds. From day one, he wanted to be involved in everything his big sister loved, even if that meant sitting through endless hours of Barbie movies or getting into all of her toys and making her mad. And one thing about Max, he absolutely hated going to sleep at night. Over the course of his 4 years, I watched Max grow from a cuddly baby into the funniest, most independent little boy. Just like Maya, he had his own version of my name. At first, I was Dabu, and eventually one day I became Babia for him as well. Every once in a while, he would call me Stephanie and immediately give me a confused look, sort of like he knew that name just didn't fit. It always made me laugh. Max loved monster trucks, cars, stuffed animals, and dinosaurs. Rarely did he leave the house without a favorite truck or car clutched tightly in his hand. He became completely obsessed with the movie Cars after I tried to find something besides Barbie for him to watch. Before long, Cars became his entire personality. Whether we were sitting and tutoring, waiting for Maya sessions, or relaxing at home, Cars had to be playing. Life as a Highway became the soundtrack to our car rides, and Max singing every word from the back seat. His love for cars eventually turned into his love for monster trucks, and somehow every trip to Target ended with a new one coming home with us. He always tried to convince me by saying, "Babia, can we look at the toys? No buying, just looking." Somehow, though, we always left with a toy anyway. He was nearly impossible to say no to. Max loved going to the zoo. It was one of his favorite activities he would constantly ask to do, especially if Ray was going to. He was always asking when Ray would take him back to the zoo again. Somehow, just like with Maya, I became the background person whenever Ray was around. The zoo became one of those places that will forever hold special memories in our hearts. He also loved talking to my mom on the phone and would giggle endlessly whenever Jana joked around with him or asked about his day. My sister Angie also became one of his favorite people during her summer visits, though he could never quite say her name correctly, so she became Janny. Max absolutely adored his big sister. He wanted to do everything Maya did and be like her. The two of them filled every room with laughter and chaos. Max also had his own collection of funny sayings that Maya never let him forget. One day while we were walking to Duncan, it started thundering outside, and Max yelled, "Oh no, flunder!" Maya and I laughed so hard. Another time, he worried an actus was going to poke him in the eye, not a cactus. And for the longest time, he called farts, farks. Those little moments became some of the sweetest memories. He was also obsessed with giant Halloween skeletons and made me drive past all the houses that had them every chance we got. He especially loved the giant scary guy skeleton in the backyard next to swim lessons and would get so excited every time he saw it. Max also loved birthdays. He constantly asked when everyone's birthdays were and thought it was the coolest thing that we both had birthdays in September. More than anything, though, he was obsessed with turning 20. He asked me all the time when he would finally be 20 years old because to him, that was apparently the perfect age. He couldn't understand that he had 16 more years to wait. This past year, we introduced Max to the newest Grinch movie. However, he decided it was a Thanksgiving movie because we watched it daily before Thanksgiving. Once December came around, he refused to accept it as a Christmas movie and told me we could only watch it around Thanksgiving time. Instead, Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas became his favorite, specifically the Donald Duck part. Max had no problem watching Mickey's Christmas past December. Anytime I asked what he wanted to watch, it was always Mickey's Christmas. Max was the happiest outside, whether he was going on walks or riding his bike in endless circles around an empty parking lot, or pointing out every tiny wonder he would found in nature. He found joy in the simplest things. But above all else, Max loved sticks. We spent countless hours collecting sticks everywhere we went, on neighborhood walks, or at parks, or anywhere with trees. To Max, every stick was special, even if it was a full tree branch. Max brought so much joy into this world. He never failed to share his snacks with me, and he always kept everyone on their toes. I used to joke with T that he was the Sour Patch Kid. First he was sweet, then the mischief would kick in. But don't worry, he would be sweet again to make up for that mischief. T completely agreed. But that combination of sweetness and chaos was exactly what made Max who he was. No matter what, he always made sure the people around him knew they were loved. Eventually, Max adopted the same bedtime routine as Maya and I shared, but of course, he made it his own. Every night after saying goodnight, sweet dreams, see you tomorrow, he would add, I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good day with Ray, Jana, and Janny. I hope you don't get sick. I hope you have a good day at school and listen to your teachers. I love you. That was Max, loving, funny, mischievous, and full of joy in all the little things. Above all else, Max's greatest joy was his mom. He was proudly a mama's boy and loved her dearly. Some of the happiest moments were spent outdoors on family vacations, exploring new places, and sharing every adventure by her side. Max made the world a better place with his bright smile and charismatic demeanor. His joy and laughter touched the lives of everyone who was lucky enough to know him. T once told me, as long as you're living in Houston, please plan on helping us. And of course, I promised her I would always be there for those kiddos. I just want to let you know, T, I didn't break my promise, and I'm honored you chose me to take care of your beautiful babies. Thank you, Maya and Max, for the years of joy and laughter. I enjoyed every moment I got to spend with each of you. So let me say it one more time. Good night, sweet dreams. See you tomorrow. I love you both.
When people think about siblings, they often talk about how different they are. And in many ways, Maya and Max couldn't have been more different. Maya was mature beyond her years. She was thoughtful, responsible, a rule follower. If there was a right way to do something, she wanted to do it that way. She took pride in doing things correctly, working hard, and taking responsibility for herself. Max, on the other hand, was fearless. And if there was a rule, there was a good chance he was going to test it. But somehow they balanced each other perfectly. Maya and I became besties. She had a lot of besties because she spent so many weekends at my house because Traveler's Table was being built at the time that she was born. And some of my favorite memories are just ordinary ones, our sleepovers, going to the park, having our conversations, and all the moments in between. Looking back, having been born during the time Traveler's Table was being built, it seems fitting because she, like her mom, worked incredibly hard. Once Maya decided she wanted something, she committed to it. And she also expressed to me at one point she wanted to run the restaurants one day, and she would allow Max to be the busser. One day, while she was over at my house, I told her I'd pay her 1 penny for every twig she picked up in my yard. I think there's a picture over there. I assumed she would pick up a handful, get distracted, and move on to something else. I underestimated her. Hours later, she was still out collecting twigs. At one point, I asked her if she wanted to come inside and take a break, watch her iPad or something, and she said, "No, I want to make more money." So when she finally finished, I tried to convince her to let me estimate how many twigs there were, but that wouldn't work with her. She wanted to count them out individually. So we sat there and counted over 800 twigs. And when we finished, I owed her a little over $8, and she made absolutely sure that I did not forget about that. She constantly reminded me that she needed payment before her mom came to pick her up. When my sister enrolled her in Vietnamese school, Maya actually wanted to go. Anyone who knows my siblings and I, when we went to Vietnamese school when we were younger, it was not by choice. She took pride in learning her language and the culture, and she studied hard and worked hard. And the Sunday before we lost them, we had just spent the day with them, and she had told me with pride that she had just taken her final exam, and the next week was supposed to be their celebration where they would find out they've moved to the next level. I'm proud to share that she passed that test, and she would be really proud of herself as well. For such a young girl, she carried herself with maturity that often amazed me. One day, while under my care, she fell at the park and scraped her face pretty badly. Later, when T came over to pick her up, she jokingly said, "Should I not let you come over to Auntie Lee's house anymore if she can't watch you and not make sure that you don't fall?" And Maya immediately jumped in and defended me and said, "No, Mom, this was my fault. It was not Auntie Lee's fault." And that just really showed how fiercely protective she was of the people she loved. And that was even more apparent in her relationship with her brother. Maya wanted a little sister really badly. She got Max instead. And while she loved him with all her heart, she never missed an opportunity to keep him honest. Max had a special talent for charming people, and he knew exactly what to say to make each person feel special. He didn't use the same thing. And so he would tell my mom how much he loved her cooking. He would tell T she was the most beautiful woman he's ever met, and then he told me, "Auntie Lee, I'm gonna buy you a necklace for Christmas, okay?" And Maya jumped immediately in and said, "You don't even have any money. Not even 1 penny, And then another time, after they returned from Yellowstone, Tia told us about how Max almost fell into the river. And so when I asked him about it, he said there was a big daddy bear chasing him, and that's why he almost fell in. Of course, Maya, hearing the story, immediately interjected and said, "That's not what happened, Max. First of all, you were chasing the bear, and it was a baby bear." So she always had to keep him honest. And They also shared this nickname they came up with, my late husband. And it's never really clear to me exactly how we got there, but they called him Stop. And there's no changing it. Once they decide that that's your name, that's what they're gonna call you. And since they both spent a lot of time at my house over the weekends, and my late husband also knew that Maya would appreciate an outing by herself, you know? And so he would wait for Max to fall asleep and kind of take her to Buc-ee's or take her to the park, and she always felt like that was a special thing they could do together. And Maya loved it. It was just a special time that was for her without her brother, and my husband loved making her feel important. But she also found a way to make those outings memorable because she looked absolutely nothing like my husband. And when they were out in public together, she knowingly would scream, "Stop!" So he had to quietly whisper to her, "You're gonna get me arrested." But she thought it was so funny, and she continued to do that. And that was part of her sense of humor. Looking back now, what I remember isn't the joke itself, it was just how much she treasured those outings and that relationship she had with him. And even after they left my house one weekend, I went into my office and she had written me a hidden note for me to find, and all it said on it was, "Don't fall for it." I knew exactly what she meant. She didn't want me to fall for all of Max's charm, and so she was warning me. But underneath all the teasing and corrections, there was a bond that was incredibly special between the two. She was still his protector and biggest supporter, and one of his best friends. She looked after him when he was sad, helped him when he needed something, and celebrated his victories. Nobody called him out more than Maya, but nobody loved him more fiercely as well. And Max absolutely adored his sister. He wanted to do everything she wanted to do. And as much as Maya was a rule follower, Max was fearless, maybe often too fearless. When they would spend the weekends at my house, the first thing he would do when they come over is jump into my pool without a float, not knowing how to swim. Of course, I would jump in after him and get him, and so it was funny to him. He just continued doing it. Without any fear, no hesitation. He would just jump off a slide. There was nothing that could scare him. And if Maya was carefully building something with magnet tiles, he wanted to destroy it and take it down. If she was coloring, he wanted to steal her crayons. But he was just curious about everything, and he wanted to be involved in everything. One of the people Max loved the most in this world is his ba, which is my mom. T often told us that throughout the week, if he wasn't listening, the only threat she had was that he couldn't go to Ba's house, and that did it. Because there's nothing he valued more than being able to spend time with my mom. And from what I remember about Max, isn't just his fearlessness, but it was his affection. You know, he was just a very loving kid. He constantly told you how much he loved you, wanted to give you hugs. It was his affection. Physical was his love language. He wanted to cuddle with you, sit next to you, sit in your lap, take naps with you. If Max loved you, you knew it. In the last Sunday we spent together before we lost T, Maya and Max, we spent all day at my mom's house. And it was a beautiful day, a really happy day. The kind of day you never realize would become one of the most treasured moments. At one point, I held Max in my arms while he fell asleep. And then later that afternoon, we played outside by the koi pond, which he loved exploring and catching frogs. I remember asking him what his favorite thing to do with everybody is, and he mentioned that he loves taking naps with me, he loves snuggling with his mom, and so again, even though he loved toys, he loved monster trucks and dinosaurs, The most important thing to him was family and friends that he loved and showing his affection towards them and just being close to the people that he loved. When I think about them, I think about how different they were. One was careful, one was fearless, one tested every limit, one counted every single twig, you know. Max would have not had the patience to count 20 twigs, let alone over 800. And both of them brought so much love into our family than words could ever adequately describe. Max brought joy, adventure, affection, and laughter, and both of them we just missed their voices and hugs. And hearing Maya correct Max's stories, I miss hearing stop shouted across the parking lot. And I will always be grateful that I got to be their aunt, sleepover buddy, nap partner, storyteller, and their friend. They were deeply loved, and they loved deeply in return. I know that somewhere Maya is still correcting Max's stories. Max is still insisting that they happen exactly the way he remembers them. And both of them are laughing together, just as they always did.
Last night I had a dream. Wish was granted just for me. It could be for anything. I didn't ask for money or a mansion in Malibu. I simply wished for one more day with you. One more day. One more time. One more sunset, maybe I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what
Happy birthday, dear Maya.
Leave me wishing still.
Happy
One more day with you.
Woo! Okay, wait. Make a wish. Make a wish.
Make a wish. What'd you wish for? For Maya? Oh, what about Mommy?
First thing I do is pray for time to come. Last night I had a crazy wish was granted just for me. It could be for anything.
Why did you put those on?
I didn't ask for money or a mansion in Malibu.
How old are you, Max?
I simply
What do
wished
you love about
one more day with you.
And what do you want to be with?
One more day. One more time. One more sunset, maybe I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still for one more day with you. One more day. First thing I do is pray for time to come. I'd unplug the telephone, keep the TV off. I'd hold you every second, say a million I love yous. That's what I do. One more day with you. sunset, maybe I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still one more day. Leave me wishing still one more day. Leave me wishing still one more day with you.
Thank you again, Stephanie and Lee. On behalf of the family, we thank you for being here, sharing your love, your support, your prayers, and celebrating T, Maya, and Max today. So right now, we want to welcome back Joy Keeling and her singers, and she's going to perform one of T's other favorite artists, Alicia Keys.
She's just a girl and she's on fire, hotter than a fantasy, lonely like an highway. She's living in a web and it's on fire. Feel a catastrophe, but she knows she can fly away. Say, oh, oh, oh. She's got her feet on the ground and she's burning it down. Oh, she's got her head in the clouds and there's no backing down. This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. She's walking on fire. This girl is on fire. Looks like a girl, but she's a flame. So bright she can burn your eyes. Better look the other way. You can try, but you'll never forget her name. 'Cause she's on top of the world, hottest of the hottest girls. Say, oh, oh, oh. She's got her feet on the ground and she's burning it down. Oh, oh, oh. She's got her head in the clouds and there's no backing down. This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. She's walking on fire. This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. She's walking on fire. This girl is on
Thank you, Joy. Okay, at this time, we want to invite you to the stage and say your final farewell. The ushers will take you seat by seat and row by row, so you can come up here. We want to let you know that the stairwell is the only way to the stage, and after you're done, please join us in the grand foyer for light bites and the reception. Light bites provided by Traveler's Table. Thank you so much for being here today. Much love.
I was a ghost, I was alone. 두어진 길 속에 given the throne, I didn't know how to believe I was the queen that I'm meant to be. I lived two lives, tried to play both sides, but I couldn't find my own place. Caught a pet child, 'cause I got too wild, but now that's how I'm getting paid. 끝없이 on stage, I'm done hiding, now I'm shining like I'm born to be. We dreaming hard, we came so far, now I believe. We're going up, 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 it's our moment. You know together we're glowing, gonna be golden. Up, up, up with our voices, no one to get you so on it. Gonna be golden. Oh, I'm done hiding, now I'm shining like I'm born to be. Oh, our time, no fears, no lies, that's who we're born to be. Waited so long to break these walls down, to wake up and feel like me. Put these patterns all in the past now, and finally live like the girl they all see. No more hiding, now be shining like I'm born to be. 'Cause we are hunters, voices strong, and I know I believe. We're going up, 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 it's our moment. You know together we're glowing, gonna be golden. Oh, up, up, up with our voices, no one to get you so on it. Gonna be golden. Oh, I'm done hiding, now I'm shining like I'm born to be. Oh, our time, no fears, no lies, that's who we're born to be. You know we're gonna be golden. We're gonna be born to be glowing, like every night on the day. You know that it's our time, no fears, no lies, that's who we're born to be.
I'm homesick for somewhere that doesn't exist, for someone I'm still learning to miss. It's like you've been replaced by home videotapes. Sun goes up then the sun goes down, and your shadow gets longer on the ground, and it's all for what? 'Cause you're not around, but I still hope I'll make you proud. Oh, I'm running after something, trying to catch your ghost, holding on to pictures and the smell of your clothes. Feel you slipping through my fingers, and I know I'll never reach you, but you're part of me, I can't let you go. So I'll just keep on chasing shadows of you, chasing shadows of you. sick for conversations I would avoid. And now I miss the sound of your voice. It's like you've been replaced by a tattoo of your name. Sun goes up and the sun goes down, and your shadow gets long on the ground. And it's all for what? 'Cause you're not around, but I still feel you here somehow. Oh, I'm running after something, trying to catch your ghost, holding on to pictures and the smell of your clothes. Feel you slipping through my fingers, and I know I'll never reach you, but you're part of me, I can't let you go. So
There's no one in town, I know. You gave us someplace to go. I never said thank you for that. I thought I might get one more chance. What would you think of me now? So lucky, so strong, so proud. I never said thank you for that. Now I never have a chance. May angels lead you in. Here you meet my friends on sleepless roads, the sleepless go. May angels lead you in. So what would you think of me now? So lucky, so strong, so proud. I never said thank you for that. Now I'll never have a chance. May angels lead you in. Here you meet my friends on sleepless roads, the sleepless go. May angels lead you in. 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 And if you were with me tonight, I'd sing to you just one more time. Song for a heart so big God wouldn't let it live. May angels lead you in. Here you meet my friends on sleepless roads, the sleepless go. May angels lead you in. May angels lead you in. Here you meet my friends on sleepless roads, the sleepless go. May angels lead you in. On sleepless roads, the sleepless go. May angels lead you in.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in? Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screens, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a chance for you? 'Cause there's a spark in you. You just gotta ignite the light and let
I just woke up from a dream where you and I had to say goodbye. And I don't know what it all means, but since I survived, I realized wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow, so I'ma love you every night like it's the last night, like it's the last night. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you. If the party was over and our time on earth was through, I'd wanna hold you just for a while and die with a smile. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you.
Lost in the words that we scream. I don't even wanna do this anymore, 'cause you already know what you mean to me, and our love's the only war worth fighting for.
Wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow, so I'ma love you every night like it's the last night, like it's the last night. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you. If the party was over and our time on earth was through, I wanna hold you just for a while and die with a smile.
If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you.
Right next to you.
Next to you.
Right next to you.
If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you. If the party was over and our time on earth was through,
I wanna hold you just for a while and die with a smile. If the world was ending, I wanna be next to you. If the world was ending, I wanna be next to you. I wanna be next to you.
I found a love for me. Darling, just dive right in. Follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. carry more than just my secrets, to carry love, to carry children of our own. We are still kids, but we're so in love, fighting against all odds. I know we'll be alright this time. Darling, just hold my hand, be my girl, I'll be your man. I see my future in your eyes. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. When I saw you in that dress, looking so beautiful, I don't deserve this. Darling, you look perfect tonight. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, or barefoot on the grass, or listening to our favorite song. I have faith in what I see. Now I know I have met an angel in person, and she looks perfect. I don't deserve this. You look perfect tonight.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound. Staring blankly ahead, just making my way through the crowd. And I need you, and I miss you, and now I wonder if I could fall into the sky. Do you think time went past me by? 'Cause you know I'd walk 1,000 miles if I can just see you tonight. There's always times like these when I think of you, and I wonder if you ever think of me. 'Cause everything's so wrong and I don't belong, living in your precious memory. 'Cause I need you, and I miss you. Now I wonder if I could fall into the sky. Do you think time went past me by? Oh, 'cause you know I'd walk 1,000 miles if I could just see you tonight. Don't wanna let you know I into the sky. Do you think time would pass us by? 'Cause you know I'd walk 1,000 miles if I could just see you. If I could fall into the sky, do you think time would pass me by? 'Cause you know I'd walk 1,000 miles if I can just see you. If I can just hold you tonight.
You're insecure, don't know what for. You're turning heads when you walk through the door. Don't need makeup to cover up. Being the way that you are is enough. Everyone else in the room can see it. Everyone else but you. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flip your hair gets me overwhelmed. But when you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. If only you saw what I can see, you'll understand why I want you so desperately. Right now I'm looking at you and I can't believe you don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. So come on, you got it wrong. To prove I'm right, I put it in a song. I don't know why you're being shy and turn away when I look into your eyes. Everyone else in the room can see it. Everyone else but you. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flip your hair gets me overwhelmed. But when you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. If only you saw what I can see, you'll understand why I want you so desperately. Right now I'm looking at you and I can't believe you don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flip your hair gets me overwhelmed. But when you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know you're beautiful. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flip your hair gets me overwhelmed. But when you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. If only you saw what I can see, you'll understand why I want you so desperately. Right now I'm looking at you and I can't believe you don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. You don't know you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. Oh, her eyes make the stars look like they're not shining. Her hair falls perfectly without her trying. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day. Yeah, I know, when I compliment her, she won't believe me. And it's so sad to think that
'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile,